systemic racism contributed to the rise of single-parent households in Black America, supported by historical context, policies, and statistics. I'll go into 4 different ways racists made this possible. Number 1, pre-20th century, slavery's foundation. Family separation was legal and profitable under slavery from 1619 to 1865. Slaveholders deliberately broke up families to weaken resistance. They knew what it was. We weren't going to just go along to get along like that. You dig? There was no legal recognition of marriage for enslaved people. They didn't respect our family structure, and in fact, they discouraged it. Our children were seen as property. Quote, child follows the condition of the mother, end quote. The impact led to intergenerational trauma and an institutional precedent for the disruption of Black families. But folks like to ignore the impact of the legacy of slavery. Number 2, post-emancipation Black codes and vagrancy laws from 1865 to the early 1900s. Southern states implemented Black codes to control freed men. Vagrancy laws criminalized unemployed Black men, leading to mass arrests. Many were funneled into convict leasing, breaking up families again. Sharecropping and economic exploitation. This kept Black families in poverty, leading many fathers to leave in search of work. Absentee fatherhood out of necessity. Let's talk about it. The consequence was that fathers were criminalized or pushed into exploitative labor, destabilizing Black household structures. Number 3, 20th century institutional racism, redlining and housing discrimination from the 1930s to the 1960s. Homeowners Loan Corporation, HOLC, color-coded maps rating Black neighborhoods hazardous. FHA and VA loans were largely denied to Black families. White suburbanization, Black inner-city poverty, economic immobility. Stable home ownership and male employment are correlated with marriage and nuclear households. Listen to this stat. By 1960, 98% of FHA loans went to white Americans. How about welfare and the man in the house rule? From the 1950s to the 70s, aid to dependent children, later AFDC, required mothers to not have a working man in the home. Caseworkers performed midnight raids to find men and cut off benefits. This discouraged cohabitation and marriage for poor Black couples. Dr. King talks about this. Mass incarceration and the war on drugs.
And the other thing I think it is very necessary to say is that everybody's on welfare in this country. And when it comes to Black people and poor people, we just call it something else. When it's for white people and rich, we call it subsidies. Fathers have left home in order for their children to get meat and bread. Fathers have left home in order for their children to get meat and bread.
The 1971 Nixon administration's war on drugs and 1980s crack policies disproportionately targeted Black men. Mandatory minimums, 3-strike laws, and unequal sentencing, e.g. crack versus powder cocaine. Black men in prison at 5 to 6 times the rate of white men. 1 in 3 Black men born after 2000 is expected to be incarcerated in his lifetime. 70% of Black children with incarcerated parents live in single-parent homes. Job discrimination and deindustrialization, 1970s to 2000s. The collapse of manufacturing disproportionately hit urban Black men, combined with hiring discrimination, e.g. Black-sounding names resume studies, unemployment among Black men, less marriageable men in the community. In 1980, Black male unemployment was over 2 times that of white men. Bertrand and Melanathan 2003 study. Resumes with Black names receive 50% fewer callbacks. Number 4, current statistics on Black single-parent households 2020s. Here are the percentages of children in single-parent homes by racial groups. Black, 65 to 70%, white, 24%, Hispanic, 41%, and Asian, 17%. Source, U.S. Census Bureau, 2022. Additional factors are intergenerational poverty caused by historic economic exclusion, residential segregation and underfunded schools in Black neighborhoods, higher mortality and incarceration rates for Black men, fewer fathers present. So summary, how systemic racism led to family instability was slavery, where family separation was normalized. Jim Crow was introduced through grandma laws, convict leasing, removal of men from families, holder discrimination, redlining, economic instability, no home ownership, etc. War and terror policy, man in the house rule. What are we really debating? For them to be correct, they have to deny our history. Single parenthood in Black America is not cultural, it is structural. Government policy, housing discrimination, incarceration, and economic exclusion are key levers that historically dismantled the Black nuclear family. Impact, intergenerational trauma, and an institutional